We have Vidya ma'am today with us to speak for World Earth Day today. She's going to talk about Mother Earth. So, generally, we always, most of the time, when it comes to that motherly thought or motherly feeling, by nature, we are able to connect more with nurturance. It's a motherly feel is mostly connected to nurturance. That is what most of us feel when we think about mothers. And I think here we're talking about Mother Earth and the need for healing within us, and that's possible now, and it's very much possible now is what she's chosen as the topic today. So I would like to give the floor to Vijaya ma'am to self-introduce herself and to carry with her presentation. Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all to this presentation. I'm Vidya, a counseling psychotherapist from Coimbatore, and today, my presentation is commemorating the Earth Day, which we are celebrating it on the fifth. It is actually the 50th year of celebrating Earth Day since its inception in 1970. So the topic that I choose today is Mother Earth. The need for healing is within us, and it's now. No, because like any healing, if only when it starts from us, it is actually fulfilling. uh, Earth Day, if you see, like it was formed 50 years 55 years back on April 22nd, 1970, in the US. So it is actually celebrated annually to honor all the achievements of the environmental movements and raise awareness for the need to protect Earth's natural resources, which includes a wide range of events coordinated globally through the Earth Day organization, which was formerly known as Earth Day Network. Currently, it includes more than 1 billion people from more than 193 countries. In the US, the Earth Day is normally celebrated on April 22nd, but there are some countries which celebrate the Earth Day on the first day of the spring equinox. Equinox, if you see, the equinox is an astronomical event which occurs at two moments in the year when the sun is exactly above the equator. It's not to the north or the south, right above the equator. And on those 2 days, both the night and the day are of equal length. So, for the spring equinox, normally it falls around March 20th. Normally, if you see in our places, we celebrate the Tamil New Year, Vishu. So, those days are being considered in certain places according to the astronomical events. This equinox day, it was actually proposed by peace activist John McConnell in 1969 at a UNESCO conference, and it was later sanctioned by the UN. So this year, the Earth Day, which is celebrated as we are celebrating the 50th and 55th anniversary, the theme for this year is Our Power, Our Planet. And the Earth Day organization has advocated this theme for a tripling of global renewable energy, which can be generated by 2030. That is the objective. How? By creating electricity through solar, wind, hydro, tidal, and geothermal. Of this is the actual poster, official Earth Day poster, which was designed by Alexis Rockman, who is actually an artist and an environmental activities. He has created this particular stunning Earth Day poster. If you see the poster, it will actually features a solar panel surrounded by nature and a clear sky, symbolizing the renewable energy future, okay, which we must embrace so that we can safeguard both the planetary and the human health. So, which actually, according to Kathleen Rogers, the president of the Earth Day organization, this poster actually serves as a powerful reminder that we have still natural resources, natural options through this renewable energy, which can fuel our future without harming the planet. And she's expecting that each and every schools, colleges, organizations, businesses will display this poster to inspire people this support this Earth Day 2025. And one interesting fact of this Alexis Rockman is that he was an inspirational artist in the movie 2012 movie Life of P. Okay, and this particular he was very excited to do this poster because this was one of his part of his bucket list since he saw this first Earth Day poster designed by Robert Rauschenberg, which was done on the inaugural Earth Day event. This Robert Rauschenberg's, if you see this particular poster, if you see properly, it is actually the central image is the bald eagle. Bald eagle represents the US national emblem. So, and sidelining all this bald eagle, you have all these images of endangered animals, deforestation, land, water, and there's also a sign that openly says, danger, keep out water contaminated. So which which is actually has a powerful influence for taking care of our mother earth. But this poster was actually originally designed for the American Environmental Foundation, which he decided to give it for the inaugural Earth Day event, which was on April 22nd, 1970. This actually, if you see the origin of the Earth Day, the seeds of this Earth Day were sown during the 1960s. Because during that period, the US was marked by widespread pollution and with literally no environmental regulations. And that's when inspired this particular pollution and massive oil spill in January 1969 and the student anti-war movement. All these events inspired the Senator Gaylord Nelson from Wisconsin, who started a non-profit environmental teaching initially to address this particular environmental concern, along with Dennis Hayes, a graduate student from Harvard University. This environmental teach in ink was later replaced by the term Earth Day, which we all are aware of as of today. And this Earth Day was coined by advertising writer Julian Koenig.
Sorry to
Se-
interrupt, ma'am.
yes,
Is it
ma'am.
possible to make it a little bigger because we are not able to see the slide because the letters are not visible? If you can increase the size which is in the bottom of your screen in the Microsoft page, no, the Microsoft
Yes, ma'am.
PowerPoint. If you are able
Huh.
to increase the size, it's 69% now, no. So below, I'm talking about the bar which is below.
Yeah.
If you can increase the size, we'll be able to see the letters. Yeah, thank you so much.
Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if you see this with the help of the graduate student from Harvard University, Dennis Hayes, sorry, Nelson organized the first Earth Day event on April 22, 1970, because he mainly wanted to educate started from the students. Even in that period, like they were more focused on the young generation to take part in promoting Earth health, and to spread awareness on the importance of environmental conservation. This particular event, actually, if you see, it focused and it was attended by 20 million people across the United States, which was completely unexpected at that particular time. And it was a very principal turning point in the US environmental history, which led to various establishments, like Environmental Protection Agency, Clean Air Act, Endangered Species Act. So from then, that was a very strong turning point for commemorating the Earth Day event, which right now which is growing eventually to with engaging with more than 1 billion people annually. Even now, this particular day, it's actually a key reminder for all environmental policies, education, and grassroots activism worldwide. These are the pictures I just took from remembering that particular first day. If you see, the mass movement begins, the newspaper, and the towards the side, the three photos. If you see on the top, that person is Dennis Hayes, and the second one is the movement. That particular on that day, the event that was conducted in the US, and in the last small photo, if you see that "Save Your Earth, You Can't Get Off." So very strong statements were used during those during that particular event. Is it clear, ma'am? This.
Yes, ma'am.
And from then it just didn't stop, it just went on. It really started doing many achievements, which was completely gave them the hope and to keep doing more. And in the 1970s, if you see, like as I had said, they were a period of substantial environmental legislations like Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, Endangered Species, Marine Mammal Protection Act, and all that, and also the banning of DDT. What is DDT? DDT is it's a hazardous chemical insecticide used at that particular time. And in the 1980s, if you see, Canada it was initiated its Earth Day in 1980. It focused on environmental education through tree planting and school programs. In 1990s, if you see, the Earth Day event started going global, involving more than 200 million people across 141 countries, using strong marketing tools, greater access to television and radio, and multi-million dollar budgets. This was all part of Dennis Hayes, the graduate from Harvard University. He took part in upgrading the event in the 1990s. And if you see the 2000s up until the COVID period, n number of initiatives were taken up by the Earth Day organization, which included climate change, global warming, clean energy, and globally around it started initiated more around 5,000 environmental groups worldwide, and a record 184 countries participated, with expansion in Europe and Asia, and also in to establish a satellite office in Kolkata in India. The main campaigns were for water, like how it is was what that the theme of that water campaign was what's in your water. That's how they started the campaign in 2003. And then they also focused on science and faith awareness, then water registration, healthy environments for children, green initiatives like providing green schools, green buildings, trees, planting more trees, and recycling. So if they also a very wonderful achievement of during that period was in almost 17 of the world's most severely deforested countries, this Earth Day network, currently it is known as Earth Day organization, completed a project to plant over 1.1 million trees. So, and the 50th, sorry, the 50th anniversary of Earth Day in 2020, that was during the COVID period. But even then, it saw more than 100 million people joining online events. And if you see, the Google also, they started taking part in the Earth Day contribution by making their first Earth Day doodle in 2001. Now coming to 2025, now if you see this Earth Day organization's theme is our power, our planet, which as I said, which is focusing on renewable energy initiatives. And this particular theme, it focuses on three P's. And what is that? It is power, tripling the renewable energy by 2030, and then people, empowering global communities with clean, affordable, renewable energy, and planet. Rapid deployment of renewable energy will help our planet. That is the main objective. And if you see, they really wanted to use these three P's to produce and use the renewable energy to transcend economic systems, political borders, and political parties in order to demonstrate a universal appeal, a universal stand, bringing in all the people involved. And then another objective is renewable energy. Also, they wanted to use it to spark a humanitarian revolution, which they are planning to do it for the first time in history, to provide virtually unlimited low cost energy to everyone, so that improving each and everyone's living standards and enhancing health outcomes also. Why renewable energy? Why? Because we also have some basic knowledge that it is because of its cost benefits. The solar panel manufacturing cost has reduced dramatically, making them one of the most affordable and the cheapest form of electricity. If you see the economic benefits, transition to renewable energy results in environmental revolution, and it fosters innovation across all kinds of industries and creating 14 million new jobs globally. And according to Earth Day organization, this it is going to projected to grow 17.2% annually from 2024 to 2030. And the main objective is it reduces greenhouse emissions. And the next main benefits of using renewable energy are health benefits. The primary is air pollution. You know, the burning of fossil fuels by which is actually the burning of fossil fuels. It usually lower. It really causes respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. So by using renewable energy, it reduces the uh, risk of those diseases. And then when women are especially vulnerable to the adverse effects of air pollution and water contamination, with linking them to increased risk of developing breast cancer, ovarian disease, and maternal health complications. So this renewable energy is focused to reduce that also. And then the main thing is decreased greenhouse gas emissions, which helps to mitigate the risks associated with climate change, like heat waves, floods, and the spread of infectious disease. And also, if you see those forest fires that keeps happening in number of many numbers in recent times. And also, it has a very big impact on our mental health also, which can be improved. So by using renewable energy, which reduces the burning of fossil fuels, so and in turn it reduces the stress and anxiety linked to pollution, climate change, noise pollution, and so our mental health can be taken care of. And then another main pollution that we are all experiencing is water pollution. Which actually will be reduced, and the water quality will be improved, which can significantly lower the risk of waterborne diseases. And through all these things, it helps in lowering the healthcare costs associated with pollution related diseases, and hence reduce the strain on each and every individual. So these are the basic benefits by using why the reason why we want to shift to renewable energy. And then, if you see the facts, the actual facts, you see the US has become the world's leading producer of advanced geothermal energy, and and also solar power is set to become the US second largest source. You know, they are really advancing so fast. And China, if you see, it is a world leader in both wind and solar. In fact, it is actually it is twice as that of the rest of the world combined. In 2024, it showed. As far as our country is concerned, India, it is aiming to achieve 50% of its energy requirements from renewable sources by 2030. And also countries like Australia, Brazil, Denmark, Kenya, Netherlands, Uruguay, they are also taking initiatives, really stern initiatives towards shifting towards renewable energy. This awareness and action, if you see the Earth Day organization this year, they are actually promoting real serious initiatives in order to provide both a mirror and a map, because they want to reflect of what's all been achieved. They don't want to just stop with what's been achieved. They just want to use that as a path forward to keep on moving towards what still needs to be done. So, according to the Earth Day or the Earth Day organization's campaign message itself is environmental awareness must be matched with environmental action. Because Earth Day is not a day; it is a movement. And so, and we also practically know that our planet is facing escalating climate and environmental challenges. And so this particular day remains it actually critically reminds each and every one of us of the power of collective action and the need for continued commitment. Why the need for healing? See, now till now we have seen all the positive, the growth of the Earth Day events, how the organization took place and how it's been globally. It's literally present in almost all the countries, all the continents, covering the ocean, sea, land. everything. And so we, using that as a motivation, we need to reassess our strategies and realign our energy with nature so that we can speed up our pace to heal our mother earth. Why? Why? Though all the positive things have been happening, right? Still, why we do feel that the need for healing is there? Why? Because according to Earth Day organization itself, even now the 15 biggest environmental problems still that we are facing in even in 2025 is they are global warming from fossil and fuels, and that is through fossil fuel dependence, and then food waste, which is very, I mean, I was totally, yeah, I was aware of the food waste that is being happening all over the world, especially even in our countries, in our places, that I've seen in many functions that people literally dump number of food and all. But still, like, the facts that the Earth Day organization have shown, almost about 1.3 billion tons of food has been is being wasted every year, which is enough to feed 3 billion people, and this particular waste and loss, it actually accounts for almost one quarter of the greenhouse gas emissions annually, that too. And in developing countries alone, 40% of the food waste occurs at the post harvest and processing levels. Whereas if you take the developed countries, 40% of the food waste occurs at the retail and the consumer levels, which is very shocking, because though the Earth Day initiative was started in the US, right now it's a very alarming fact that in the US more than 50% of the produce is thrown away. Why? Because they feel it is too ugly to be sold to the consumers. And that particular 50% alone amounts to about 60 million tons of fruits and vegetables. So the same way, the next, if you go biodiversity loss, that also, if you see the population sizes of mammals, fish, birds, reptiles, amphibians, they are seeing a decline of an average of between of about 68 percentage, due to the rapid growth of human consumption, the urbanization, population, the global trade, the illegal wildlife trade. So we are knowingly and unknowingly, we are becoming the sole reason, the primary reason, the cause for all these biggest environmental problems like deforestation, air pollution, agriculture, soil degradation. Soil, like, it is actually, if you see, uh, about 40% of the soil is eroded because of using toxic chemicals and pollutants. And if we continue to be this reckless, even 40% less food is going to be produced in 20 years' time, where but definitely the population will be projected to reach about 10 billion. Right. So, like that, food and water. See, when you have one side you have this food waste, and in one side you have this food and water insecurity, water pollution, air pollution, ocean acidification, melting ice caps and rising sea level, and the next one, the fast fashion and textile waste. N number of this fashion and textile waste, they are actually, as per the UN environmental program, it actually accounts for 10% of the global carbon emissions, this fashion and textile waste. And it's making it one of the biggest environmental problems of our time right now. So that alone causes nearly 20% of global wastewater from textile dyeing. And then you see this next one is overfishing, cobalt mining. If you take this cobalt mining, cobalt is actually a very key opponent in the they use it for the as a part of the batteries for electric cars, electric vehicles. Okay, so it is very, very important for renewable energy. At the same time, it is also associated with dangerous workers exploitation and other serious environmental and social issues, because the mining, because it has to be, the surge in its demand has raised the mining production. The more the mining, the way that workers are being exploited, the mining productions are of a serious concern. Now, if you see, now we are seeing the reason why the need for healing is need. But why should it start from us? Because we face unprecedented challenge on our planet. Our Earth is literally suffering from all kinds of issues like climate change, deforestation, pollution, mass extinction, depletion of natural resources, and alarmingly, what we are the root cause for almost all the significant environmental problems. So we need to act now, and and immediately. We just cannot. Okay, fine. Maybe not. Maybe even if not me, there'll be someone who's doing it. No, each and every one of us should take the responsibility, because more than seeing it from an external view, we have to see it like we are part of Earth, and Earth is part of us. We cannot live without Earth, and there will be no Earth if we keep continuing to act the way that we have been doing right now. And so that is the reason now is the time, need, and urgency for both individual and collective action to address this issue. The best sustainable way right now, see, right now we are just moving at a very fast pace that we really need to take a step. We should stop and look within ourselves. We should question the path that we take, the pace that we go on, is whether it's right for our planet and in turn for us. So it's our obligation. It is more than, it will be great if you do it out of love, but more than that, now it has become literally an obligation for each and every human to revive our planet in its natural form, to its natural form. And because, as I said, both healing Mother Earth and healing ourselves are interconnected. It's a two-way connection, and we can never heal ourselves without healing our own planet. And by degrading our planet, what are we doing? We are degrading all kinds of life forms, including our own. So our soulful, our conscious steps, towards revival and regeneration of everything that's nature, that only helps in our own self-healing and survival. And definitely, at least from now on, when it comes to our health and our planet's health, we should leave no stone unturned. I just made a small rhyming sentences, like where I said, like, the earth is our sacred home and our source of life. We breathe its air, drink its water, and eat its food. Our existence depends on it, and hence our duty to protect it. So don't wait for any initiatives or the next Earth Day. Let's act as if each day is Earth Day, as in its health lies ours. Okay, and this is a wonderful it's not a proverb, which actually this particular sentence I saw, I came across from that okinomicus, is it actually mean economics, which means this Xenophon is a Greek philosopher and historian and a soldier, and at 362 BC he had written a book on household management and agriculture, wherein, like, he talks about earth more. So in that, this particular line actually really caught my eye when I was doing my research for this presentation, which says the earth willingly teaches righteousness to those who can learn, because for the better she is served, the more good things she gives in return. So with that, I would really like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to present this wonderful topic, because it's really given me a very strong realization, like where we are standing as individuals to promote our earth health. So thank you again.
So I take over after Vidya ma'am to speak a little bit on the same topic. So as I began in the beginning, I wanted to connect to what realization can this can give to us in terms of mental health, and trying to connect it with mental health. And as I told you in the beginning, generally when we talk about um, motherly love or motherly, the word mother itself, I'm not generalizing, but mostly it's that we connect to mothers, that they're nurturing to us, or as a mother maybe I'm nurturing to my kids, or I provide more love, I provide more support, love, care. Similarly, I receive from a mother figure of mine. So it's like that. So when it is earth being represented as a mother, it's because it's providing us so much of nurturance. So as an expressive arts therapist, when we did a lot of work in terms of uh, like various modalities that we went through. One big learning was that it is very important to be in connect with nature. There's a lot of changes psychologically we go through when we are in connect with nature. Being in the midst of mud, sand, fresh air, trees, blue sky, water, such sceneries, when you watch them, there's so much of relaxation and refreshment that each one of us can feel and sense. And so, Mother Earth is celebrated as God from our ancient culture. That is why during Pongal and other things, no, like we are celebrating it with sunrise and harvest. So such things we're again connecting ourselves with nature, and it mostly we do it outside. Similarly, in different cultures, we have different kinds of celebration where nature is celebrated as God. And this being in this kind of a scenario, kind of environment with more of greens and blues is something which is very important for us, for our mental health, rather than you just consider putting yourself in a very suffocated place with a lot of smoke, traffic, congestion, suffocation in breathing, crowd. Compared to all this, you can just put yourself in a different situation where you are in the midst of nature. And yeah, I think like as we began in the beginning, we like saying that healing is something important, and it's not that it's going to like the healing within ourselves can happen anytime, even now by choice. When we go to the terrace and gaze at the moon and the stars, which is again nature, you get the fresh air and you watch something which actually brings in some positive feelings when you see the full moon, no, and sometimes the moon, sometimes in the evenings you can see the sun setting, and then you can spot the moon as well when you see that is a very beautiful feeling. And to see the orange sky, the rainbow when it's raining, and being in I was in a place where I was able to visualize all that, being in a place of scenic beauty like Coimbatore. So that's something which I wanted to share, including water, waterfalls, hills, so all these things. So that's why, like as ma'am rightly said, that preserving the mother nature is very important for our physical health, mental health, and nature is giving us something that's very important for us also to reciprocate the same to nature. It's our mother. So, like, thank you for your patience and listening to what we spoke today. And thank you, dear ma'am, for the presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have a few words to
Thank
say
you.
about what to before we close.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I just wanted to, I mean, after this topic, like what I just wanted to just have, I just wanted to see whether we can have a small discussion about like the complications that we fail in our places that we are living in. Because all the initiatives that we are seeing it in a general format. No, but personally, individually, the place that we are living in, the area that we are living in, the way our the environment is being taken care of, the way the people handle it, the way the government people who, I mean, workers handle it, you know because I still have keep getting that experience. I have these the garbage issues in our street, where even now, how much ever educated they are, they just dump it and go on the road because there are no garbage, what is the boxes, and they just come and throw it at the road and it becomes a big dump. And every time, like, either it will be mostly me or there are a few people in our street who will just keep calling up to the corporation, that WhatsApp number or the helpline number, and we just call them, we tell out this issue, they come and see. And the thing is, it's more than the people from the houses, the hotel people, right? They use this non-veg, they just dump all that and go. So it creates a big block even for the air also. That particular place itself has become so much. No matter what we try to plant, we do some planting there, so that we see that people don't come and throw garbage when there are plants or trees, small trees or small plants. But still, I see them throwing upon that. That is one. And I nowadays, I don't know, in Coimbatore, because of the uh, metro concept and all that, they are cutting trees, where in a whole number old trees, like I remember seeing the tree right from when I was a child. So they, despite of many technological advances, we are still only focusing on the temporary solutions of cutting trees and just doing that expansion, rather than finding a way to incorporate that tree in the expansion. No, that's what the certain issues which I always see. But other than that, compared to few years back, the awareness is there in certain people, especially the youngsters, the school going kids especially. They really they find out innovative ways, to tackle all these things in their own simple ways. So that is something really refreshing to see.